Donald Trump's impeachment inquiry continues in Washington, with the former U.S. ambassador to Ukraine set to testify. The appearance of Marie Yovanovitch comes just months after she was ousted, allegedly by those who viewed her as a threat to their financial and political interests. According to a transcript released by the White House, President Trump had called Ms. Yovanovitch bad news in a conversation with his Ukrainian counterpart, to which President Zelensky replied, "I agree with you 100%. Now, for more on this, we're joined by Harry Horton in Washington, D.C. Harry, what can we expect from Ms. Yovanovitch's testimony today?
Well, remember, this impeachment inquiry is all about President Trump's foreign policy conduct towards Ukraine. And essentially what Democrats are investigating here is whether President Donald Trump withheld vital military aid to Ukraine and the promise of a White House meeting with Ukraine's new President Volodymyr Zelensky in exchange for pressuring Ukraine's government to open up a political investigation into his campaign rival, Joe Biden. And what Democrats will be asking Marie Yovanovitch, who is a 33-year career veteran at the U.S. State Department, served under both Democrat and Republican administrations. They'll be trying to ask her, look, were you cast aside by the Trump administration so that Donald Trump and the White House could pursue another foreign policy that was against what have been the long-standing U.S. interests in Ukraine? So those are the sort of questions I think we'll hear put to her about her departure earlier this year, how it came about, what it meant for foreign policy when it comes to Ukraine. Republicans, on the other hand, they'll try and ask questions and sort of make the argument, I think, that, look, Donald Trump as U.S. president has the right to dismiss any ambassador in the world that he wants to do for whatever reason he wants to do. That's within his power to do so. And if he felt that Ms. Yovanovitch wasn't doing the right job for him, then he had the right to dismiss her. So another day of televised hearings here in Washington, where I think both parties will try and shift the needle of public opinion when it comes to this impeachment process.
All right, so what's next? Do we know when this is going to end or wrap up soon?
Well, I think we're going to have several more weeks of these hearings. On Saturday here in the United States, there'll be more closed-door impeachment interviews, new witnesses giving new information about Donald Trump's conduct towards Ukraine. That will be going on over the weekend. And then next week, there's about 5 or 6 different witnesses who, again, will be appearing in front of the TV cameras on Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursday here in the United States. So this impeachment inquiry moving forward, the Democrats are hoping they can manage to sustain the public attention they've had so far. Around 14 million people tuned in to watch the first day of public impeachment hearings on Wednesday. Keeping those TV viewing figures as high as that will be a real challenge, but Democrats need to try and sustain the interest here if, as I say, they're to reach their goal of changing public opinion, getting public support for impeaching President Donald Trump. And if that happens, that could put some pressure on Republican lawmakers to vote eventually down the line to remove President Trump from office. They hope.
All right, thanks for that. Harry Horton speaking to us from Washington.